Okay, welcome to the Road to Barcelona 2023, and this is video number 7, and we're going to be reviewing week 11, last week's week of training. And this week I'm going to walk you through the program from last week, what went well, what I learned throughout the week. Then I want to talk to you about calf strength, or as the physios put it, calf capacity, and show you how to strengthen that up. And it's something I'd very much recommend that you do if you're a triathlete, particularly if you're going to be doing an Ironman. It's definitely something you'll benefit from later in the race, and also something that will help bulletproof you from calf injuries, which are really, really common in triathletes. And then finally, we'll have a little look at next week's training, the week ahead, and see what we've got coming up as we start to get into 2023. Things are starting to get serious from a training point of view, because we can see our summer events coming up fairly soon. So what have we got on the training plan to review from last week? Well, last week there was 9 hours and 3 minutes in the calendar, and I think that was pretty much exactly what I completed. I'll drop that up on the screen for you to have a look at, and that consisted of 2 40-minute swims. So we're keeping the swims fairly steady at the moment. The first swim was there was some drills within that, and a couple of sort of longer sets of 300 meters, and then the second set, for the first time in quite a while, I introduced some threshold sets. So a bunch of 150 meter swims, about 5 or 6 of those, with breaks in between of easy 50s, just to start to vary the pace in the swimming. The main thing with swimming, as I said in a previous video, is really, unless you're at the top end of the race, or you're a pro, where obviously you need to get really technical about it. The main thing with swimming is really to build consistency into your program, particularly at this time of year in the winter. But it is useful as you go through your swimming training to make sure you're at least varying the pace that you swim at. You're not just swimming at one pace all the way through. So do some faster stuff, some faster, shorter 50s and 100s and 150s, and also do some longer sets of 200, 300, 400 meters as well as you go through. So that was swimming. Those were both completed. The second one I was slightly short on time, so I was a slightly shorter swim, but I pretty much did the right distance anyway. So fairly happy with that. There were 3 bikes in there. Originally I'd planned 2 interval sessions, and then my standard long ride at the weekend of 3 hours. I actually, as I got into the week, I thought better of it and decided to convert that second interval session just into an easy recovery ride. I was feeling a little bit sore from some of the other sessions that I'd done, so I dropped that down to just a steady sort of zone 2 ride on the turbo. So it ended up being one fairly decent interval session early in the week. Then towards the end of the working week, there was the easy ride. And then on Sunday, it was a 3-hour zone 2 long ride, which I actually managed to do outdoors, which was quite pleasant until the hail came down in the last 20 minutes. And then had 3 runs during the week. One of those runs was just 10 minutes, and that was the run off the bike, off the long bike. So 3-hour ride with just a 10-minute brick run afterwards, just to get the legs used to running off the bike. And then there was 2 other 45-minute runs. Aside from that, I completed about 50 minutes of physio exercises, and we're going to look at those. Those were calf exercises. We're going to look at those in a minute. And also, I introduced my first 30-minute dedicated strength session that I've done in quite a while. It's been probably since the back end of the summer since I did a strength session, a dedicated one. It was a 30-minute one. Most of it, I have to say, was done with body weight only. And my biggest learning from that, and it's something, it's not really a new learning, it's something I've known before, so a reminder, is how quickly you lose your strength if you don't do regular strength sessions, and also how much it hurts the next day when you get back into strength work. So if that's the situation you're in, you're worried about how much strength you've lost, or the fact that you need to build strength, you're worried about how you do that, I'll do a video on that in the coming weeks, how to structure a session. But the main thing is to make a small start and try and keep it consistent as we go through. So on to calf strength. Calf strength for me has been a really, really important issue. I partially ruptured my Achilles in end of 2017, which took around 12 weeks to heal, and then I had a really, really long road to get back to the point where I was able to run well enough to do an Ironman. So ever since then, I've been really, really keen to make sure that I've done plenty of strength exercises around that calf area. And I've found in my last few seasons of racing, particularly over the 70.3 and the Ironman distance, that calf work has really, really helped. So I'm going to show you one protocol you can use to do that. It's very, very simple. All you need is a step. And it's definitely something that if you're going to be doing a half Ironman or an Ironman distance, that I definitely recommend that you do some of at least 2 or 3 times a week, if not every day. Very, very simple to fit it into your schedule. So we'll pop along over to the bottom of the stairs and we'll see how that works. Okay, so we're at the bottom of my stairs. Calf strengthening can be really, really simple. You don't need any heavy weights, you don't need any equipment. All you need, ideally, is a step, although you can just do it on the ground if you don't have a step. If maybe you're away on business and you're in a hotel room and you can't get onto the stairs. So calf strengthening is really important. There are 2 areas of the calf that we want to strengthen. There's 2 primary calf muscles. One is called the gastrocnemius, which is the main big calf muscle. And then underneath that is a muscle called the soleus. And those 2 work in combination in different angles to help propel you forward, help you run, help you cycle, help you with everyday movements. And we need to strengthen both of those 2 separate muscles. Okay, so I'm going to show you one protocol that I used when I first started doing this. This is sort of a basic one to start off with. So I'm just going to turn around and go onto the step, and we're going to do 30 calf raises with both feet. So we're going to stand on the edge of the step, and we're going to go up and down and do calf raises. The key is to go up quite quickly, and then control it nice and slowly on the way down. Up again quite quickly, and control it on the way down. So here we go. So on the edge of the step with balls of your feet, don't do it in trainers. We start at the bottom and we go up, and then we control it on the way down, up, control it on the way down. Now this first exercise, this is strengthening the main calf muscle, the gastrocnemius, and we'll do this 30 times, and we want to do 3 lots of 30. Now to start with, you might not be able to do 3 lots of it, but just do as many as you can. Maybe break it down into 3 lots of 10, then 3 lots of 12 and 15, until you can get to 3 lots of 30. So that's the gastrocnemius. The soleus is the muscle that sits just underneath the gastrocnemius, and we strengthen that in the same way, but we change the angle of our legs on the step. So what we want to do, we want to bend forward, so we've got a bend in the knee, and we want to do the same up and down motion, up and down. Feels quite awkward to start with, and after a few reps you'll start to feel that. So again, same protocol, try and get up to doing 3 lots of 30 of these. Up again quite quick, control it on the way down, up again quite quick, control it on the way down. So start at 3 lots of 10, work your way up to 3 lots of 30. Okay, so that's the first protocol. Once you're able to do that, then you can move on to single leg calf raises, and this is one that is really quite difficult to start with from a balance perspective. So you may want to hang onto the wall or onto a banister just to keep your weight. Don't use that to help you actually do the exercise. Just use it for balance. So we want to get onto one leg. Same thing again. Straight leg first of all. We're going to go up onto our toes, slowly down, up again, and down, up again, and down. And then we switch legs. So in the right leg, balance and down, up and down. And then again, different angle for the soleus. So bend forward to the knee, up, down. And what we want to do with those is we want to get to the point where we can do 3 lots of 15 on both legs, and we want to do that at least once a day, maybe twice a day if we can do it. So that's calf strengthening. that's something that I'd really recommend you do. As often as you can. I build that into my day. I do it while the kettle's boiling, or while the coffee pot's boiling in the morning, or if I'm on a work call with my headset on, I'll go and stand on the bottom of the stairs and do it. So there's lots of opportunity to build those kind of things in. If you can't do all of the sets in one go, break it down into one set at a time at those different times during the day. What you'll find is if you do 3-4 weeks of those, you'll really start to notice the difference in your running. It'll also protect you from injury, because it really strengthens the feet, the ankles, and the knees as well. So stick with it. You might find you're a little bit sore when you first start doing them. Just make sure you don't do them to the point where you're too sore to be able to do your other sessions. But really recommend to do that. Okay, so week 12 coming up. We're sort of hurtling towards the middle of January already. Can't believe it. And volume of week 12 is going up slightly, not a vast amount. What I'm starting to do now is to start put a little bit more of quality through into the bike sessions. So really starting to ramp up some of those interval sessions. So my intervals are going to go from what have been very short intervals, 20-30 seconds at sort of zone 4 or 5. Those are going to be up to 4 minutes, 4 lots of 4 minutes in the interval session this week. And that's going to really start to put some quality through the bike workouts, and I'll start to sort of feel that and benefit from that over the next few weeks. Most of the rest of the sessions are going to still be down at zone 2, particularly running, as I sort of build up the volume of run. One thing that might add into the run in the next few weeks is just some strides, just to start to increase the turnover of the legs, which is basically 20-30 seconds at a time, just picking up the speed up to sort of what you would say maybe 10k race pace or slightly faster. Nothing crazy, no sprints, just to start to get used to turning the legs over a little bit more quickly without having to put in any full-blown intervals into the running part of the program. Aside from that, another 30-minute dedicated strength session this week. That'll be building on the previous week. Hopefully I won't be quite as sore the next day this week. And then everything else from a program point of view is going to look fairly similar to the previous week. I'll put the proposed program up on the screen. Hope you can have a little look through that. And if you've got any questions about how those sessions look specifically, pop them in the comments, or any other questions or any other suggestions about things that you want to know about, particularly if it's your first Ironman or even your first triathlon. Please drop a note in the comments about what you want to know about, and I'll be happy to answer to the best of my experience and knowledge. Aside from that, good luck with your training this week if you're training for an event, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.